interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With Ryan ready in his chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
Welcome to the ThinkSoJoE Show. As you can see, that is over there. That's not Ryan in his chair. That is Mr. Scott Leffler. Welcome back to the show, Scott. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. I feel like it's been forever since you forced me to be on your show.
It has been a while, I think.
I've kind of lucked out for it. I would say it's been at least a year.
You might be right. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I've had regular guest co-hosts and regular co-hosts, and so like you're usually like the second ask. So there's Kevin, and then there's you.
Right.
Actually,
I'm honored to be on the chain of succession.
I did ask Karina as well this week, but she was also unavailable. So
Was she unavailable, or is she just mad at you because of your bad jokes?
probably a little of both.
Fair enough.
The one where Scott sent me this and I couldn't read it. Scott is...
Yeah, whenever I see those Rick rolls, I think of you. So
I gotta get my stuff up here. Laura asks, is Scott wearing an all WNY hat? Yes, in fact, he is.
yeah, pretty much always. I basically am wearing one of, I don't know, maybe 15 different all Western New York hats that I have, except when I'm sleeping. So yeah, that's about. I did not have it on just prior to us starting, and I realized that my hair looked like I was homeless, and I am not, in fact, currently homeless, so I didn't want to project that image. Although if you do want to, contribute to my GoFundMe, you're more than welcome to.
Speaking of merchandise that may or may not have all WNY stuff on it, merch.thinksojoe.com. We just relaunched that like an hour before the show with all new...
I saw you post a few new shirts on, I don't know whether it was Facebook or Twitter the other day, but...
Yeah, on Facebook I posted a bunch, and I just launched the store today, so there's a bunch of new designs, as well as all of the classic designs. The Karina's Cookies designs are no longer there. I asked her, I said, do you want me to keep... Are you still doing the cookie thing? Do you want me to keep these in the store? She said, nah. So...
All right.
And Laura demands that you wear your hat when you sleep.
There are times that I do. It depends on how much I've had to drink.
Okay, so I got a message from Brett from Quaker Gun Club, who I swear I have a song by programmed into the board, and he says, they don't actually have any music released yet, but if I wanted to play their not yet released demo of their debut single, then what did I get off of your Bandcamp? I'm confused now. Maybe this isn't the band that I thought it was that I have programmed in here. But yes, if you have a single, shoot me a DM on Facebook, and I'll tell you how to send it, and we'll replace whatever this is that I have here.
and while we're pleading for music, please, everybody, if you have a band, or you know somebody has a band, or you used to know somebody who had a band, send them to submit.allwnyradio.com and upload your music for All Western New York Radio to use, so that we can put it on our 24/7 stream, which is going on, what are we going on, 17 years now?
Geez, yeah, that sounds about right.
I think
as of April 1st?
Yeah, so April 1st will be our 16th birthday, which will start our 17th year.
Right.
So yeah. April 1st, of course, is also the date that we'll be announcing the winners of the All Western New York Music Awards for the year. So if you would like to nominate a band or a door person, or did we do bartender? I don't think we did bartender, did we?
I submitted some nominations like the first day we put them out, and I haven't looked at it since, so I honestly don't even know. I know we have.
If you want to submit nominations, do that at allwnyawards.com, and we're doing nominations for another 5 days, and then the nominations committee is going to go through those and pick our 10 favorite from each category, or not our 10 favorite, but the 10 best, which will also be our 10 favorite, I guess. And then the actual voting starts in a couple more weeks.
Your volume is going up and down here, and I don't know what's up with that. That's shouldn't be doing that.
I'm going to go with user error on your end.
Sure, whatever. Never happens with anybody else. Just a couple of weeks ago, Kevin was co-hosting. We just couldn't get his video going, which was why I told you to do Zoom instead of Skype.
Gotcha.
Because we couldn't get Skype working. So Brett from Quaker Gun Club says that these are very old solo demos and not the band. So get at me on Facebook here, and I will reprogram. So
it's a good thing that you put out who you're playing. That way they can get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Hey, that music that you said you were going to play by us, we'll send it to you at some point during the show.
Yeah. Usually it's all programmed, but I did not realize that this was because it points to a band camp under their name, and I got it from their Facebook, so I assumed it was them. Absolutely. Brett, send that over to me. He messaged me on Facebook, so now I got to find that. It's probably, did you message the page or did you message me? That's the question. I just got a message from Karina. She was here yesterday. We went to the Main Street Armory. We went and saw the Dropkick Murphys and the Bomb Pops. And she goes, and so everybody comes over. We all met at my house. And one by one, everybody went to go use the bathroom. And the two people that had never been here before, I said, down the hall and to the left. And then they turn into the kitchen and start looking around. Like, no, the hallway.
Keep going.
Yeah. Anyway, I go to use the bathroom today, and I have not. I've been lazy. I don't put my toilet paper roll like on the actual holder. So I just got a message from Karina confirming that it was indeed her who put the toilet paper roll on the holder. So on the ThinkSoJoE page, cool. I will get that, and I will get that programmed probably during the next song break or shortly thereafter. So
I know you wanted to talk about the whole Armory thing at some point, but before you get there, I do got to ask you: is this the first time you've seen Dropkick Murphys?
No.
No.
I've
never seen them. They've been to town a number of times, and for some reason or another, I have never been available when they were here.
I'm pretty sure I have seen them multiple times in the past where I just don't remember seeing them, because there's a lot of bands that I saw back in the day where I saw a bunch of bands that day. It was Warped Tour, Edge Fest.
I know they played Thursday in the Square at least one year when it was actually in the Square. And I think that's the only Thursday in the Square that I didn't get to that year, and that's the one that I wanted to get to the most.
I saw them last year with Rancid, for sure, and then I saw them again last night, and they were the second Celtic... That was my second Main Street Armory show, and it was the second Celtic punk band I saw. Well, second Celtic punk band show that I saw, because there was another Celtic punk band earlier on the same show. Right. And you know, I'm not going to sit here and go on a rant about my not liking Celtic punk as much as I did when I was younger. But I will talk about the sound at the Main Street Armory is just awful.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
We went there for, we saw the Violent Femmes and Flogging Molly sometime last year. And the opening band comes out, starts playing, and you can't hear a damn thing they're saying. Or you know, the music doesn't sound great. Karina's convinced, oh no, it's just because, the sound's set up for like Flogging Molly, that's why. Like, yeah, I don't think that's why.
Right.
Because you look up, and it's all wood paneling and steel beams and no acoustic treatment whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean it's an armory. It's not an auditorium. The acoustics in it are definitely horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But still, I've had fun there.
Yeah, I mean, the shows were fun, just I would have liked them better in probably any other venue.
Right.
You know, like give me Montage or Anthology or, one of those other Rochester venues there. Or just bring it down. Yeah, Bug Jar. I've never been to Bug Jar.
I think I heard Bug Jar's closing or closed.
I don't know. It didn't look open to me yesterday when we drove by it, but that, it was also like during the day. So I don't know. But I've never been to Bug Jar, but I've been to Anthology, I've been to Montage, and I've now been to Main Street Armory a couple of times. It's just, we had to stand outside for a lot longer than we anticipated last night. And I guess there was like a power outage or something.
Okay.
Because like we're standing outside, there's this guy out there screaming about Jesus. And Karina went to give him a Living Brain Dead digital download card. I don't think he took one, but
he might have. So there used to be this group of people that would like go to Thursday in the Square and
Yes.
fostilize, right? And I asked him one time, I'm like, why do you come here? Like, do you feel that like the people here need to be saved? And they're like, oh no, not necessarily. It's just this is where the people are. So I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
So they were probably just there because there's going to be a crowd. So let's go tell the crowd about Jesus. So maybe they did take the digital download, and maybe that's your newest fan.
So now if you go to the Living Brain Dead Bandcamp page, we have a bunch of like pride shirts. Like we have a gay pride shirt, an ace pride shirt, a pan pride shirt, a bisexual pride shirt, trans pride, and all that. So, maybe we'll open up their eyes if they did take a download card. I don't know. But
maybe.
They're out there screaming about Jesus. And then we're like, everybody's just kind of getting closer and closer to the doors because it's like getting colder and colder. And it's raining. So we're all trying to like kind of huddle together,
I'll trade you one Jesus for an LGBTQ equality.
Yes, absolutely. So we get, and then we see like the outside lights come on and everybody's just, yeah. And, nobody thought anything of that until like, the Dropkick Murphys were playing and they're like, we had a bit of a power problem and we got it solved. We thought we might not be able to play tonight. Like, oh, that's what happened. Okay, that would have sucked. Drive 2 hours.
It's definitely power outage season, so I understand that.
Drive 2 hours to Rochester and we almost got stuck out there because Karina's cousin was driving us and he's got this, car that's got an anti-theft system, and it's like, yeah, you're trying to steal this car, dude. We're not letting you drive.
Oh no.
So we're sitting there like, what do we do? And finally his wife texted him like, you have to push this button, then you have to push this other button twice while you're standing 10 meters away from the car for 10 minutes. So we had to go stand across the street. We went to Dinosaur Barbecue, and that's where we
I was going to ask if you had either Dinosaur or Tahoe's.
Yeah, we went to Dino, and so now we're standing out front Dinosaur Barbecue in the rain, waiting for the car, waiting 10 minutes for the anti-theft system to turn itself off.
I know Buffalo has its own Dinosaur Barbecue, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's good. I've been there a few times. The food's great, but there's something about that Rochester location. I don't know if it's the ambiance or what, but if I'm in Rochester, I eat at one of two places: Dinosaur or Nick Tahoe's.
I've had the food from the Buffalo Dino. I don't know that I've actually eaten there. I know I've drank there at one point, but
all right,
it's because my buddy Zach Ward was playing a show there, and my plans for the night had fallen through, and I was like, hey, I'm just gonna go over to Dinosaur and see Zach Ward play. So
nice.
I'm looking at my messages now. It looks like I do have a message. Let's see if they load. Any second now. There we go. Okay, let you know how to send it. I'm just going to have you email it to me at my email.
So, you know how you frequently have FedEx problems?
Yes.
Well, I had my own today. I ordered a new Chromebook a few days ago and saw that it was shipped and saw that it was coming via FedEx. And I'm like, oh, man. So, and it's supposed to arrive at my office today between 8:55 and 11 a.m. And I'm like, all right, that's a weird window, but whatever. So I make sure to like get up early because like 8:55, that's not a time that I wake up at. So I wake up early, get to work, you know, wait for the package. I have to sign for it. So I'm, you know, hanging out in my office doing my thing. And then all of a sudden I get a notification that it's been delivered. And I'm like,
without you having to sign for it, you were expecting.
So I open the office door, I look around, I go down to like the office manager's office, and I'm like, hey, like any chance like you got a package for me? And she's like, nope. She's like, try this office. So I like went and tried like a couple other offices in the building, and I'm like, did you happen to like get a FedEx delivery and like accidentally think it was yours and have since realized that it wasn't? And like 3 different offices I went to, they're like, nope. So finally I'm like, all right. So I'm just kind of wandering around. And at one point I go outside and when I come outside, the UPS guy's here. And now we have like a mail room it's a locked room, and frequently boxes will get delivered to there. And then there's a housekeeping person who later will deliver the mail. So I thought, well, you know, maybe the guy just put it in the mail room and like faked the signature. So I asked the UPS guy, I'm like, hey, like, can you check to see if there's a package in there for me? And he checked and there was. So basically the FedEx guy like put it in the mailroom and then signed a fake signature showing that it had been signed for and left.
Oh, great.
Despite the fact that like it said has to be signed for it. So I don't know. If I had known that was the case, I would have slept in.
Because it was a Chromebook, so it's a very expensive item that they want you to verify you got. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet Chromebook. It flips around.
Okay.
So it's like so in addition to being a 13-inch laptop, it's also a really, really, really big tablet. So that's kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah, I keep seeing Chromebooks pop up on like the Best Buy daily deals. So I'm just like, I don't need a Chromebook. No, I don't. I'm not spending this money.
Well, I've been thinking about either grabbing a new laptop or a Chromebook. Because so currently I have 3 computers, one at home, one at my office, and one at my girlfriend's house. And I was thinking about picking up a laptop so that I would have a backup. And then it occurred, I'm like, I already have 2 backups. Like I don't need a backup for all my backup. Like if something's wrong with my computer at home, I can work from home or my girlfriend's house. Or like, you know, I have 2 backups already. But I did want something like portable that, you know, if I go somewhere and I want to write. So I was like, well, I can either spend like $500 and get a decent laptop or spend like $300 and get a really good Chromebook. So that's what I did. I spent $300 and got a really good Chromebook. And then like, because like with Google, I can sign into any of my computers.
Right.
So basically, even though I can't record audio on it, which, you know, obviously is what I do, but like I can sign into any of my other computers. So I still have access to all my other computers. Anyway, long story short, I like it so far.
Good. Good to hear. Getting that music programmed in now that was just sent to me. So.
By the way, in case anyone's wondering, it's coffee.
Coffee.
Definitely coffee.
Definitely coffee.
Coffee.
Laura asked, let me find this now. She said, could you check the signature?
So I tried to, but on FedEx, you either have to have your own like 7-digit customer ID, which I don't, or the sender's 7-digit customer ID. And I could have gotten it from them. And had I not like found it, you know, relatively quickly, I would have asked them like, what is your, so that I could have gotten the signature. But long story short, I could have gotten the signature, but I haven't.
Okay, there's your answer. Yeah, FedEx just, I don't know what to do about FedEx.
And so I went to the FedEx website and I'm like, hey, I didn't get this. And I like filed a claim or whatever. And then like an hour later, when I did actually find the Chromebook, I went back to like unfile the claim and I couldn't do that. I had to call them. I'm like, what the? Yeah.
I signed up for, I moved the servers for the Living Brain Dead website and the new web store that we're opening there. And my new server doesn't have email included, so I had to sign up for email. So I signed up with this company called Zoho.
Okay.
And I could not figure out their user interface. I'm trying to add these email accounts, and I can't figure out how to do that or get rid of the one that was already on there, which was like the personal email that I had to sign up with. So it's like, this is ridiculous. So I finally get all that done. And then I tried to program it into like the Windows Live Mail, and it would not connect. So I reached out to them and I'm like, hey, I'm having trouble with this. They're like, oh, okay, well, try this. And then if that doesn't work, call our customer support line and have somebody walk you through the process. Like, one, I shouldn't even have to contact you about this. This should just work. Second of all, I'm not talking to somebody on the phone over something like this. I'm just gonna drop you and go subscribe somewhere else, which is what I ended up doing because I don't want to talk on the phone. Fuck that.
Right. About a year ago or so, I moved all of my hosted websites. I moved to a single web host because I had them like, I think I was using 3 or 4 different web hosts. And I was like, you know what? This is a pain in the ass. So I moved them all to one. So I'm using a thing called Namecheap right now, which is pretty good. It's shared hosting. So actually, now I can just add domains and it doesn't cost me any more money, which I think is really, really cool. And I can add like unlimited domains. But their email is lacking. I can pay like $10 a month for email, or I can just forward all my email. Like I can add forwarders for free. So I'm like, I don't get enough email on these particular domains to like pay $120 a year just for spam, basically. So I just set up forwarders for all of them.
I have Namecheap for most of my sites. I did move the Living Brain Dead off of there because I kind of went over my file limit. And they were like, yeah, we're not going to upgrade you because I guess I spiked their memory when I was putting products into the Living Brain Dead store. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to move this site off your shit and bring that file number down and also limit the amount of load I'm putting on the server. But I was using their webmail, which was fine.
Oh yeah, webmail's fine.
And then, but they're also who I signed up for, like their actual like paid email service for the couple of Living Brain Dead emails I needed. So those are
my main issue that I have with Namecheap, and it's not the biggest deal in the world, but like I feel like whenever I have to install a new SSL, like I feel like that process is
for sure
like cumbersome. Like I would like an SSL. I will pay you $20 to install it for me. Like, why is that not an option?
No, I've definitely been through that.
Yeah.
So I figured out how to do what are they called? Basically, you can do free SSLs, but they're not like you can't do them directly through Namecheap. So I figured out how to do them on my own computer. Let's Encrypt is the name of the company. So I figured
I'm familiar with Let's Encrypt. Somebody on Twitter told me about Let's Encrypt. But from what I had seen, it doesn't work with Namecheap, so I just dropped it.
So you can, if you have like a Linux installation of some kind, and you can do that on like a Windows computer now, you can just use the command line and you can generate your keys for your SSL from there.
Right.
And then just plug them into your cPanel and have your
all right. Can we now take a moment and talk about how ludicrous this is?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, the concept of an SSL is to tell the end user that this website is secure. And you can't do that on your own. You have to go out to a third party. And somehow or another, they're saying it's secure, but only because you say it's secure. But now you can actually make your own SSL to tell your user that it's secure.
But the SSL goes through Let's Encrypt, and they're saying it's secure because I'm telling them it's secure. But yes,
exactly. The whole thing is a farce.
I'm trying to plug a new web store. We probably shouldn't be talking about that.
Well, and all right. So one more thing though. So every single website that I have is a blog.
Right.
I don't have usernames. I don't have passwords. I don't ask for any personal information from anybody. So I don't even know why it needs to be secure, but it has to be secure because if you go there with Google Chrome, it'll be like, this website's not secure.
Yep.
Well, there's a scam. Somebody's making money somewhere.
Well, https .merch or ://merch.ThinkSoJoe.com for your new ThinkSoJoe show merch. And your old ThinkSoJoe show merch, it's all up there now.
All right.
So, no more Karina's Cookies merch. She was just like, nah, you don't need to bother selling that anymore. So, she didn't bring me cookies yesterday, but she did bring me lasagna and some chowder.
Who made the lasagna?
Her mom. Which I got to text her mom and thank her for the lasagna now that you
right.
Maybe she's watching. I don't know. But Laura says, Joe, who makes a living talking, does not like to talk on the phone. Yes, that is correct.
I also make a living talking, and I hate talking on the phone.
Yeah, nobody likes
my phone. If my phone rings, one, I immediately assume that somebody died. Two, I do not want to answer it. And three, I'm probably not going to answer it. Especially if it's a number that I don't know, or if it's a name that if it's a family member, I'll answer it. And again, we're back to somebody probably died. Or I'll answer the phone when my girlfriend calls, but reluctantly. I'm like, why are you calling me? Can you not text? But for the most part, people know not to call me because I don't want to talk on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think in the entire time Karina and I dated, she called me when Brian died. But no, when my phone rings, I assume it's somebody calling me about my car's extended warranty.
Oh yeah, I get that too, and then just other random spam, and so 9 times out of 10, what happens is my phone rings, I look at it, and I'm like, what area code is that? That's my first thought is, what area code is that? And so then I'm like, Alexa, where is area code 702? And it's going to tell me it's Virginia.
702 is used in Nevada.
Oh, that one's Nevada. Sorry, 703 is Virginia. Alexa, stop. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, that's my first thought is, what area code is that? So I learned things. It's kind of cool.
I always used to just, punch the number into Google or Facebook or something. Now Facebook won't tell you whose number it is. And Google is hit or miss.
Yeah,
for the most part now too. So yeah, but for the most part, your car's extended warranty. Okay, I don't know where to begin telling you what's wrong with that.
Right.
But yeah, that's I do not like talking on the phone. I was just telling my buddy works at Best Buy, and I was telling him about my hour-long customer service experience calling Best Buy a couple of weeks ago, and that was just I mean, for most of the phone call, I wasn't talking to anybody.
Right.
But
yeah, your call is very important to us. Bullshit. If it was important, you'd be talking to me.
For 45 minutes of the call, I was on hold with no hold music whatsoever.
Really?
Just to a point where I was just looking at my phone, am I still on this call? Oh, okay, I am.
I think I said something about this on Facebook. It was 2 years ago, maybe. I had met a girl and I gave her my number. And then the next day she called me and I'm like, nope, I'm out. I don't know what this is. She didn't text. She wasn't hey, it was nice. My phone rang and I answered it and there was a girl. And I'm like, why are you calling me? And she's like, I just wanted to talk. And I'm like, yeah, I I gotta go. My penguins are on fire. Like I can't. Like yeah.
With
So that relationship didn't go anywhere.
With you having the same job as I have, I can imagine that your phone is always on silent anyway.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
although I have mine set. So when I get to my office, it automatically sets to silent, do not disturb.
Okay.
And when I leave my office, it stays on silent, but it's no longer do not disturb. So if somebody calls, it will actually ring. But I otherwise don't get any audible messages. But I figured out how to set zones on it a while ago, and I like that because I know when I get to work, I don't have to worry about it. But when I leave the office, like just in case, it does actually ring.
So you have the luxury of a separate office. I have the room next to my bedroom. So
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna get in some music here, and
Cool. What are we listening to?
we got some brand new music from our friends in Wyatt Coin. Let's see, is there anything else I need to tell you about this? Nope, new single, Atlantic City, available now, and here it is on all WNY, ThinkSoJoE Show. There it is. This new Wyatt coin on all WNY Think So Joe show. Good stuff.
Never been to Atlantic City. You ever been to Atlantic City?
I have not been to Atlantic City. I'm going to Las
I have
Vegas.
also never been to Vegas.
I'm going to Las Vegas on Friday.
I know you are, and I have no idea. Like, I saw you post the other day that you were going to. I'm like, why the hell is he going to Vegas? He just went to San Francisco. Does
Same
he
reason.
not know there's a pandemic? What are you doing traveling all over the place?
I'm going to Vegas for the same reason I went to San Francisco. So I got back from San Francisco, and I get a message from this dude that I started talking to on Twitter, who we started interacting during a Metallica live stream towards the end of 2020.
Is he hot?
I don't think so. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm talking. So we started talking during this Metallica live stream. We're both, found out we're both from Buffalo. Like, yeah, it's cool, just. And he reached out to me right after I got back from San Francisco, and he's like, "Look, man, I had a couple of people fall through for this Vegas trip." Kirsten says, "We jinxed it. Someone is calling her right now." Anyway, yeah, so this guy reaches out to me right after I get back from San Francisco. "Hey, man, a couple of people fell through for me for this Vegas Metallica show. If you want, I'll sell you one of these tickets for face value for floor. They're going for $600 on StubHub. I'll sell you one for $250, which is face value." I'm like, and then I'm looking at like flight prices, and I'm looking at like hotels and all this. I'm just like, I just got back. I just spent $800 to stay in San Francisco an extra night.
Right.
Like I don't want to say no, but I can't spend this money right now. Like, so no, I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. I really wish I could. He's like, "Oh, bummer. I really wanted to go to you because I know you're a big fan." Like, yeah, it sucks, man, but I just can't. And it was eating me up inside to have had to say no to going to see my favorite band for face value, just because I couldn't justify like I could afford to go. I just didn't want to spend that money.
Totally understood.
So a couple of weeks ago, the guy reaches back out to me, and he says, "Hey, man, I sold those 2 tickets, but my other buddy that was going with me just got custody of his kids, and so he's excited about that. He said, just take this ticket and give it to somebody if you want to. Don't give me my money back. So if you want, I'll just give you this ticket. You just have to pay to get there. And you can get there for like $200 and back." Like, really? He says,
Do you have insurance for your liver?
"Do I have
your internal organs?
Do I have insurance for my?"
I'm just afraid you're going to wake up Saturday morning in a bathtub full of ice and like
maybe.
things.
So
because like the first thing sounded okay. Like, all right, hey, I've got this thing. I'll sell it for you like for cost. Even though I could make $350 on it, like, all right, so maybe the dude's cool, but now he's just giving you a ticket, and I'm like, man, Joe, it was really nice knowing you.
We'll see if I even make it to the Cleveland airport on Friday morning. But anyway, no, it was like, no, that's a great offer, and how the fuck do I say no to that?
Right.
So
where are you staying?
We're not. So we're
flying in, flying out?
Yeah, we're driving to Cleveland Friday morning and flying out of Cleveland, direct to Vegas, going to the show, and then flight home is at 5 a.m. through Dallas and back into Cleveland.
Huh. That's cool, but it's kind of a shame. Like I would hate to go to Vegas and not be able to stay, just because like there's so much to do.
Laura says, "I think this guy wants you. Don't visit his home."
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he was just like, dude, this dude loves Metallica as much as I do, and I don't want to go by myself, so.
Right.
So I could see that. Like, I got the ticket. He sent me the ticket. I'm just like, I accept the ticket, and I get the email like, "Oh, you just confirmed that you're going to Metallica in Las Vegas." And I'm like sending it to all my like Metallica loving friends like, "Hey, guess where I'm going?" So
this is your 3rd Metallica show in what, 6 months?
69 days.
Yeah.
I figured that out earlier. Yeah, 69 days, 3 shows. It took me 25 years to see him a 5th and 6th time, and now I'm going to see him for the 3rd time in 3 months. So, yeah. Which is the anniversary of the first time I saw him is coming up. The 25th of next month will be 25 years since the first time I saw Metallica, which was actually my first concert. So
I have not seen them in 47 years. So
yeah. Well, the ones I went to in San Francisco, those were the 40th anniversary shows. So it was like, okay, if I'm going to travel to see Metallica, these are the ones to go to.
there's a show that I would like to go to next month, but I'm not going to, just because I'm still not comfortable being in crowds. But Ministry's playing Buffalo next month.
Okay.
And when this show was announced a couple of years ago, it was supposed to be in 2020 at Rapids, and it was supposed to be like Ministry, KMFDM, and Thrill Kill Called or something. Like, it was like 3 of my favorite bands.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that'd be such a great show to go to. But then pandemic, and then it was rescheduled to last year, but pandemic continued, and now it's next month, but it's just Ministry and some band I've never heard of. So that's a shame.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm already like, okay, I'm going to Metallica, and then after I get back, I would like, well, I'm on the way to Cleveland. I need to buy Bouncing Souls tickets. I've been going to shows. I've not been going to as many shows since the Omicron variant.
Right.
But I've, like, and to be perfectly honest, the main reason I went to last night's show was when I went to go tell Karina, hey, I got Metallica tickets, and I'm probably just gonna give you the 3 tickets I have for the Dropkick show. She was like, before I could even get that second part out, she's like, you're still coming with us to Dropkick, right? I was like, yeah, I'm coming with you to Dropkick. I could,
Yeah. So I
have
not been into a crowded room at all. I've not been to a movie. I haven't been to a concert. Like, I've been to a couple, like, small local all Western New York shows. But generally speaking, I don't trust people, and I'm more introverted than I realized I was a couple of years ago. I've never really liked people, but now I realize that I actually don't have to deal with them in any way, shape, or form, and I quite enjoy it.
I definitely kept my mask on the whole night last night, which I hadn't been doing, like, again, prior to the Omicron variant. I kept a mask on, like, the entire time I was in San Francisco. So for, like, the Metallica shows, for the Niners game, even though that was outdoors, like, I had a mask on 90% of the time I was in San Francisco.
Right.
But, yesterday for the car ride, I didn't have a mask on. At the restaurant, I didn't have a mask on. But, like, in the venue, I had a mask on the whole time, like, because I'm like, nothing is ruining this trip for me. And, maybe when I get back, maybe I'll relax that a little more, and because then I don't have any, like, big trips coming up.
Probably more prohibitive for you, though, because of the beard. I don't have to worry about the beard.
It's
so
fine.
I barely notice it.
Yeah, no, I got the KN95 masks, so they just go right up under, so the beard's like hanging out the bottom of it, but
Right.
But yeah, no, it's I was definitely not taking the mask off, despite the fact that 90% of the venue at least had no masks
Right.
on. But I'm like, nope, I'm wearing this mask. I am staying protected here. I'm vaxxed. I'm boosted. Like, but I ain't taking the chance with a trip to Vegas coming up in 3 days. Like, I'm being as safe as I can, while still fulfilling this obligation to go see the Dropkick Murphys, which the whole reason I wanted to go to that show in the first place was because the Bomb Pops were playing.
I went to DC last summer. I did a little sightseeing, looked at some apartments. But other than that trip to DC last summer, I have not left Erie and Niagara County in like 2 years. So, like, I haven't gone anywhere. And girlfriend wanted to go to Utah this summer, and I was going to say, hey, while we're there, let's go to Vegas, because I feel like it's got to be close. But I think I'm going to skip the Utah trip. I think she's going, though.
I have been to San Francisco and I'm going to Las Vegas. I've been to Rochester. I was thinking of going to New York for like at Christmas time, but it was like right after I got back from San Francisco, so it was the same reason I initially turned down these Metallica tickets for Vegas. But yeah, it was just kind of and I've got our old coworker John, like, hey, when are you coming down to Virginia? Like, I don't know that I am coming down to it. Like, I'll eventually get down that way, just not right now.
Yeah.
But I'm already kind of looking at like next football season, like going to a Niners road game. And so that's down to, I think I narrowed it down to Atlanta, Carolina, and Chicago. Probably Chicago.
I'm hoping to go to a Commanders game come football season. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I think Mitch Trubisky's going to be their new quarterback.
I don't know who the Niners quarterback's going to be this season. That's interesting right now because you've got, they're saying Jimmy's going to be gone by free agency.
Right.
So you've got Trey Lance, but you've also got, the rumors swirling of, well, Tom Brady always wanted to play for the 49ers. Aaron Rodgers always wanted to play for the 49ers. So you got these two big-name quarterbacks. I'd rather have Brady over Rodgers. Personally.
Oh, I would too, without a doubt. Although, for the sake of Tom Brady, honestly, I hope he stays retired.
I mean,
and not because like I'm worried about him, because I really do feel like the Bills are at a point where honestly we can beat anybody. So I'm not worried about Brady for that reason, but he is obviously at the tail end. And while the decline may be slight right now, it's going to increase quickly. And right now he's literally is on top. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to ruin his legacy by staying another year or two too long.
Right.
Like Jordan kind of did. Jordan didn't, and obviously Jordan didn't ruin his legacy, but he got to a point where he was like, all right, old man, get off the court.
I mean, I was not watching by the time he was playing for Washington, so
right.
Well,
nobody else was either.
Yeah, right. I don't know. That was when I like fell out of basketball. Was like, oh look, Michael Jordan's gone. Okay, I don't really care anymore. Oh look, hockey.
Yeah.
Then the Sabres got hot for a little while, and now I'm still watching hockey despite everything.
This year has been really weird for the Sabres. They're up, they're down. Like they're fun to watch, but man, they're a mess.
I mean, if they get some consistency going, Tage Thompson has just been playing like he doesn't want to lose anymore.
Right.
And they still can't win. They lost that game at Colorado, or not at Colorado, but against Colorado the other day. I wasn't watching the game. I got, my bass player went, and my buddy Pat came down from Toronto because he's an Abs fan. He went to that game, and I'm just like, I can't watch the game. I got people coming over to watch the wrestling pay-per-view because they invited themselves, which is cool, Like I've been lamenting the fact that like since the WWE network became a thing, like people don't go to people's houses to watch wrestling pay-per-views anymore. So that camaraderie, that communal aspect of it is kind of gone. But I guess having a projector has its perks, I guess.
Did you recently get a new projector?
I did.
I thought so.
Yeah, I got one.
Higher lumens.
I got a short throw projector, and higher lumens actually. Yeah, it's a lot brighter. But I got it because I bought a new screen, and the screen was supposed to be the same size as the screen I had before. Just it's like a pull-up screen instead of a a hang-up screen.
Right.
And so I set it up, and then I go to set up my projector, and I just can't fill this whole screen. So it's clearly bigger than the previous screen, despite the fact it's supposed to be the same size. So I was like, all right, I got no room to move this back any further. I should just get a short throw projector. So I got like an $800 short throw projector. And so I break that out when I've got people over or when there's big events or something like that.
Right.
I didn't watch
You don't have it permanently mounted on the ceiling?
No, it's on a stand.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
but yeah, the screen is on a stand, and the projector just sits right on the table in my living room. So, so whenever anybody's coming over to watch something, or if I'm, if there's a big event, I didn't watch the Super Bowl on it. I actually had bought a 50-inch TV from 4K TV from Best Buy. So I was like, I don't feel like going through this whole process of setting up my projector. I'm just gonna make food, and I'm gonna go watch the game on this new TV in the bedroom.
So I have a projector in my office, and I don't know how big the screen is, but it's like 8 feet across.
right.
So I mean, it's a big screen, and it's on. There's a switch for it to go up and down. Well, there's a short in the switch, and so it doesn't go up and down like it's supposed to. So like maybe a year ago or so, I bought a big screen TV for the office just because I was like, you know what, I'm sick of dealing with this projector. Like, it'd be sweet if it actually worked, but it doesn't work, and I don't want to hire an electrician just to like make a switch work. So, so yeah, if you buy TVs like around Super Bowl, they basically give them away for free.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I've told this story on the show already, so I'll keep it brief when telling you. But the reason I was on that hour-long hold with Best Buy a couple of weeks ago was because I bought a TV on clearance through their website for like $200 for a 55-inch TV.
Right.
And 4K smart TV. And they were like, okay, now you need to schedule an appointment. So I scheduled an appointment, and then like 2 days before that, they're like, you still need to schedule your appointment. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I already did that. So I go on the website's not working. I have to call. And they're telling me, oh no, you can't get it for, like 11 days after you're supposed to be getting it. And like the first guy I asked, dude, can I just switch to shipping then instead of this appointment? Cause I don't need a damn appointment. It's a smart TV. You plug it in and set up your Wi-Fi. So that guy puts me on hold, and I finally get to a guy, the third guy.
The appointment was for installation?
The appointment was for the delivery.
Gotcha. All right.
Because I didn't even sign up for installation or anything. They were just like, you need to make an appointment. So I finally talked to another guy. The other guy goes, oh no, it got damaged. And what we're going to do is, we want to make sure you get what you ordered. So when we get new stock in, we're going to send you. And I'm like, but wouldn't you not get new stock since it's a clearance item? And he says, no, I mean, like, you're going to get like the newest version of this. And we're going to get that. We'll get that to you. And then a couple of days later, I look on Best Buy's website and it says, your order's been canceled. I'm like, well, what the fuck? They told me that they were sending it. They were going to send me something regardless. So I reach out on Twitter because I didn't want to sit on hold again. So I reached out on Twitter. And before it took them like 3 days to get back to me. So before that, I ended up buying another TV. And when they did finally get back to me, I'm like, look, this is what I was told. I don't know what I want you to do about it. I'm upset about it, obviously, but I don't know what the hell to tell you to do about it. And they go, oh, you know what? We're going to refund you $75 off this TV you just bought. So I got it at like the Super Bowl pricing and $75 off for a brand new, TCL 50-inch Roku TV.
Nice.
So, and I figure, that's got to be better than the Fire TV anyway, because I've already got Roku with everything already installed and signed up and everything. So
right. I like 2 years ago, not quite 2 years ago, I bought a scooter. And I got a really nice one. It like $800. And I got the extended warranty. And a couple months ago, I hit a pothole with it, right? And when I did, I jarred something, some electrical component, like there was a short.
Mhm.
So I had to mail it back, and they were going to fix it and mail it back to me. So I mail it back. I get an email. Hey, we got your scooter. We're waiting for a part. We'll let you know when we ship it back out. So then like another day or two later, I get another email that says, sorry, we couldn't fix it. Here's your money back. And like, I got the entire purchase price back.
Wow.
So basically I got to use it for close to 2 years for free.
Nice.
And then, so I was going to get another scooter, but you can't really ride them in this weather. So I'm like, no, just wait.
Yeah.
So, but as a result, I've got like, it's an Amazon credit, right?
Okay.
So I've got like this pile of money on Amazon, and which is part of the reason I bought the Chromebook, because I'm like, I have all this money, I have to spend it on something. So
Yeah.
I got a Chromebook.
Yeah, you can't just let that sit in your account. You gotta. That's just
Exactly.
like, what can I buy? What can I buy? What can I? Like I have.
Probably in April or May, once we're actually done with the snow, I'll buy another scooter. It was a Segway ES4. It thing got 20 miles an hour, which doesn't sound like a lot until you're on it, like with nothing between you and the road.
It's faster than walking for sure.
It's faster than walking. It's about twice as fast as riding your bike. And yeah, twice in the past in 2 years, I actually crashed the damn thing. And well, can't really. I have scars. We'll just put it that way.
I've actually got an Amazon $25 gift card that I got for Christmas right here that I haven't used yet, if you can believe that. And I've been buying shit on Amazon. It's not like I just got a meat tenderizer today.
All right.
But to go with my air fryer. But yeah, I'm gonna I think what I'm gonna use that towards is the actual like charging case for these mics. So that way I don't have to like plug them in after every episode of the Think So Joe show. I could just throw them in the case and they'll charge.
Gotcha.
So maybe I'll do that right after the show while I'm thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah. I
have a list of like a million other things that I want on Amazon, but like at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to spend all this money because I want to have it available for for when I need it. But
so then you buy another scooter, you get the extended warranty again, and then you know who's calling you. They're calling about your scooter's extended warranty.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, phone calls are not fun. That's why, I'm setting up all these stores, and it's like, who can people call? What's the phone number to call if there's a problem? Like, there's no fucking phone number to call if there's a problem. If there's a problem, you can fucking email me like an adult.
Well, and so, like, I have my phone number, like, on the All Western New York site.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I will get a phone call from someone, and I'll get, like, a voicemail that was like, hey, Mr. Leffler, this is so-and-so, and I saw this story, and I'd like more information. Or like 8 times out of 10, it's, hi, this is Tom Jones, and I want that taken down because I was acquitted. And like, I'm like, you know what? All right, Tom. I'm really sorry you got arrested. I'm not gonna fight with you. So I actually usually just take it down. Just because it's not worth. I have libel insurance, but it's not worth the fight.
You've also been on the other side of that.
Yeah, but you know what? When I was on the other side of that, I didn't call and ask for it to be taken down, because like I know how it works.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
But you understand where they're coming from at the very least.
Oh yeah. Well, and like so one guy, like, I actually called him back, and I was like, hey, just want to let you know, I did take that down for you. Like it's gonna take a few days for it to like clear itself out of cache. So like if you go to it now, it might still show up on Google, but it should disappear in a couple days. And basically, like, the guy had gotten like a DWI or something, and he's like, I'm trying to get a job, and like I really don't want that to ruin my life.
Right.
Dude, I don't want to ruin your life. And it's a news website. Like, the story was like 3 years old or something like that. I'm like, it's not this isn't a library. This isn't like, we're not here for history's sake. It's not news anymore. And like, I don't want it to ruin your life either. I could have been a hard ass and been like, well, you do the crime, you do the time and all that. But for what reason? Like,
if he was acquitted, he didn't do the crime. Allegedly, apparently.
I'm not
Possibly.
sure. I'm not sure that one was acquitted.
Okay. No, I get emails at my all WNY account of like, let me see here, which is like a Gmail account. It's not an at all WNY account, so I don't know why they're like. I guess they get it off the website, but I get. Am I contacting the right person at all WNY? Chances are no. Yeah. I want to hear your thoughts regarding our guide to the benefits of driver's education. Like, I don't think that's a good fit for our readers or our listeners And I was like,
I
but
get a lot, and it's like we should collaborate.
Yeah.
I'm going to write a story about such and such, and your readers will love it. And I'm like, no, they won't.
So I was like, look, I'm definitely not the person you want to talk to here. I don't think your article's a good, your guide is a good fit for what we do here. But you want to talk to Scott Leffler. You don't want to talk to me about this. I don't run that aspect of this. I book shows and do a podcast. Like, that's it. Speaking of the podcast and music and shows and stuff, there's a show coming up on Friday at Milky's. With The Missing Worker and Dead Orchids, with this band here. They're called KindOfKind. They're out of Rochester. That show's at 9 p.m., $7, vaccination required. Again, at Milky's. This is KindOfKind, and the song is called Droplets on All WNY ThinkSoJoE Show.
Just my luck, I happened to slip into existence. Gave no thought to a major risk of consequences.
All right, that was Kind of Kind, the song called Droplets on all WNY Think So Joe show. Again, catch them Friday at Milky's with The Missing Worker and Dead Orchids at 9 p.m., $7, vaccination required. Did you change into a different all WNY shirt in the song break there?
Yes, I did. Well, the real purpose was to change my hat. Then I was like, oh, it's Wednesday. I should be wearing pink. So I changed my shirt as well.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
I got coffee. And I went to the bathroom. And I solved world hunger. So
I plugged them.
Thank you to Kind of Kind for allowing me the opportunity to do all that stuff.
I plugged the merch store in the chat. Merch.ThinkSoJoe.com, new designs available now. I ordered a couple of them. I got the test pattern one, and I also got the Think So Joe Has a Podcast Shepherd Fairy inspired one. So
I like the Simpsons one you posted the other day. That was kind of cool.
It is Simpsons one?
Or not the Simpsons, Mario Brothers. Sorry,
Mario Brothers. Yeah, Super Think So Joe show.
Yeah.
Most of those, actually all of those, were pretty much taken from thumbnails from previous episodes.
I figured as much, yeah.
The Mario one still actually has the episode number written in it. So.
I saw that. I did notice that.
Yeah. I had actually...
So while we're plugging merch, allwnYstuff.com. Don't have hats there, but we do have shirts, some masks, and some other stuff. So, yeah. allwnYstuff.com.
Getting ready to relaunch the Living Brain Dead web store. So, well, actually launch. We have a Bandcamp merch store, but we don't have an actual store on our site, and we're gonna launch that soon. And I'm wearing a hat I got from there. I got my new Whoa, that was a bad noise. New Living Brain Dead hat.
Cool.
And that's going to be up there for, I think, like $25. We got a different design as well that I just designed last night when I should have been working.
So is that all made to order?
Yeah. It's all for the most part. We've got some of the stuff that we have on hand too. Which
my hats that I do. So this one is stitched. And so this one I got from a website called Queensbury.
Mm-hmm.
And you give them your logo, they digitize it, and then the hats are like $10 a piece or something, like fairly like they charge you $100 to digitize the logo, but then the hats after that are relatively inexpensive. So I got like one of every color combination I could think of. So and I do have a few that have the All Western New York News logo on it, but I just like this one.
I was looking at some old pictures of myself yesterday, and I found one where I was wearing the All WNY News hat.
Yeah.
So these are we're doing the hats through a company called Printful, and they charged me, I think it's like $7.95 $7.95 to digitize the logo. And
dude, that's not bad at all.
No, but the hat is like we're charging $25 for them.
Right. Yeah, they get you on one end or the other.
Yeah, but these are flex fit hats, so I'm sure we could probably get the Velcro fitted one, the Velcro adjustable ones, or snapbacks and all that for whatever price we want. But this is what I wear, so I was like, this is what's going in the store.
So getting back to the whole, there's a show coming up on Friday. Like Joe and I talk on a fairly regular basis. Every couple of days we'll hit each other up for some stupid reason. And 9 times out of 10, it's literally a stupid reason.
Usually it's just complaining about clients.
Dude, I got one to tell you later. Anyway, but every once in a while it will be work related. I'm like, and Joe will be like, hey, we're gonna do a show, and like Joe books all West New York stuff. And for the past several years, we've done a February show, round about Valentine's Day, that we call the Blackened Heart Ball, and it's basically an anti-Valentine's Day show, or second Halloween, as Joe likes to think of it as.
We've tried to market it as a second Halloween, just nobody buys into it, which is weird, right? Because everybody wants a second Halloween until there is one.
Right. So, but we didn't do one this year, and like I never even brought it up to you, but like now that we're like talking, because you never call me. Why Why didn't we do one this year?
Pandemic.
Fair enough.
So
That
like,
is as valid a reason as I can think of.
so the last show that I booked was my birthday last year.
Right.
And we booked 3 bands, like I always do, and we lost 3 bands in the span of a week prior to the show.
Right.
And instead of doing the smart thing and saying, you know what, we'll just cut our losses, cancel the show, I was like, no, we're going to still do a show. And we booked 3 more bands within the span of a week, and we drew 3 paid through the door. So I'm like, you know what, maybe it's not maybe it's not the right time to start booking again.
Wait. What show was that?
That was my birthday show in November at
Where was it?
Stamps.
Oh, the weather was crap too, wasn't
The
it?
weather was also crap. Yes, you are
Yeah,
correct.
I did not go to that because I almost always go to any show you book. But I remember that show, the weather was crap, and I decided day of, I'm like, you know what? Nope, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, that didn't help you either.
No, it was the weather sucked, and we got 3 paid through the door. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna take some time here, and you know, I'm doing a lot with my own band, and Karina's been booking stuff under like.
Yeah, she's got a show coming up at Stamps, I think, that she was talking to me about. But you've also got your new life as a DJ, I hear.
So I was thinking about that during the song break of like, because I think I like re-saw the post or saw like I still have the software open, the page for the software. So I have an Amazon Echo device in my bathroom connected to the studio speakers that I took out of here when I put the new ones in, and I'm in the shower the other day, and I'm just calling out all these songs I want to hear, and I'm just like, man, you know, I could be a DJ, man. Some of these songs are like, you know, really, really good and really popular songs. And so I put it out on Facebook, you know, hey, I got this Echo device in my bathroom, and I'm, you know, calling out these songs, and I'm thinking, man, you know, maybe I should host a 90s night somewhere. Please, for the love of God, somebody talk me out of this.
That didn't happen, did it?
So far, I have gotten a ton of encouragement to actually go ahead and do it.
Well, because when I saw it, I'm like, dude, that's a brilliant idea. You need to do that.
So now I'm sitting here looking at like DJ, they call them they're light controllers. So what they are is they have like the little you know, turntable analogs on them.
Right.
And you can, and with this software, you can set it up so you just get a Tidal subscription, and you can play like any of the songs that's on Tidal, which is basically like, you know, iTunes has like 82 million songs, Tidal has like 80 million. So it's like almost everything you can get on like iTunes or Amazon or Google or whatever. So it's like,
and
all right.
That licenses you to play them in the bar. That includes the ASCAP BMI license.
I would imagine that the bar would have to have the ASCAP BMI license.
Because a lot of them don't, which is why a lot of bars stop having live bands, is because they actually got dinged, because when a live band plays a cover song, the bar is supposed to send a kickback to Paul McCartney or something. I don't know. My
thought is that I would probably do it at Mohawk Place, because they do like the emo nights and all that other kind of stuff with DJs. So I'm thinking if I do something like this, it would be probably at Mohawk Place. So now I'm looking at all these like DJ controllers, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm you know, I really want somebody to talk me out of doing this, because I used to be a DJ in a previous life, and like, you know, I didn't mind the gig I had, but when other people were like, hey, can you DJ this wedding? And I would accept, I'd like instantly regret it when I got to doing it. WNYKaraoke.com.
Dude, that is a domain that I own.
Are you all right? Well, anyway, but I used to be a DJ for Beverly Lanes in Niagara Falls. I was their DJ for. Yeah, I was their DJ for the weekends. We started off Friday nights, and this other dude was doing Saturdays, and you know, he was just kind of really more insubordinate than we were, and so you know, he got fired, and you know, we got asked to do both nights, so we were doing Friday, Saturday nights at the bowling alley, And you know, that led to like some other gigs and stuff. And I was just, I didn't have good equipment because I didn't have money. And I'm still not looking at good equipment, but it's like, you know, I have a decent laptop, so I could just get like the shittiest controller. And as long as it works, I should be fine to be able to like just plug into some venue's sound system and run a DJ set. But
laugh though, because like you and I are so similar in a lot of ways. I mean, first of all, we do the same thing for a living.
yes.
Secondly, we're always like, what if I do this? What if I do this? And it's like, there are 24 hours in a day, and like, you know, not including sleep. Like, I've got like a spare hour here and there, but I'm always like, oh, and I could do this and this, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And like, so I really did maybe a year ago or so. I bought allwmikaraoke.com because I thought, like, we could do like, remember we used to do karaoke at the house parties?
Yeah.
And like, I could buy all the equipment and literally just like hire somebody to do karaoke at bars. And then like I actually got to the point where like I was like researching different equipment and looking stuff up, and like I came like this far away from like actually buying like a karaoke machine filled with like, you know, 70 million songs or whatever. And then I'm like, the hell am I doing? So like when you're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be a DJ and play like 90s hip hop, I'm like, dude, I feel that. I have definitely woken up from that dream.
I to this day, I can't hear "Groove Is in the Heart" by D-Light without thinking of Scotty Harrington because of the house shows.
Right.
Because you and I did a bad rendition of "Bring the Noise." Because I think we were kind of like thinking the other person was going to do parts, and just we didn't plan that out at all. And then like right after that, like the karaoke machine just kept playing, and it played "Groove Is in the Heart," and Scotty grabs the mic and he just goes, "Groove is in the heart, groove is in the heart, groove is in the heart." And I cannot hear that song to this day without thinking of Scotty. And so yeah, no. But I've been to like, you know, a bar that isn't typically a karaoke bar, where they've had a guy with equipment come in and host karaoke. So yeah, I could see that as a you know, as something that could be a legitimate business venture.
I do, by the way, have all of those recordings.
Yeah, I know you do. I think you've released some of them. I'm pretty sure I've heard some of them. Yeah, I got to answer John Johnson's question here. He asked like 8 minutes ago. John, I did not buy that jersey. I didn't have the heart when you asked me last week after the show to tell you that it was one size too big. I take a 52. That was a 54. Anyway, didn't have the heart to tell you, man. But you did good. You found what I was looking for. Just slightly too big. But anyway.
Do you have any more room for video games?
No, but I'm still gonna buy the Mortal Kombat 30th anniversary when it comes out.
Do you have The Simpsons?
No.
It's on sale at Walmart.
It's also on sale at Best Buy. So the fact that I have not bought it yet is incredible restraint, because I am waiting for that Mortal Kombat 30th to drop.
Gotcha. Yeah, I for some reason or other, I got like a Google alert. They're like, hey, like this is on sale at Walmart. And I'm like, what do I care? Simpsons are stupid.
I've been like, so my buddy actually posted a link a couple of weeks ago to what was purported to be NBA Jam for like $120. And I'm like, well, if you know, fuck me for paying $400 for it, or 500 or whatever the fuck I paid, right? And I started looking around the site because it looked legitimately like the Arcade 1UP website, which I've been to plenty of times in the past. So I'm looking through.
Was this arcade1up.wish.com?
No, it was it was arcades1up.com.
Oh.
So I'm looking around this site and I see like, oh look, they got Mortal Kombat, like the one that's already out for you know, $130 or whatever. And I'm like, all right, you know what? For that price, yeah, screw it. I don't need Mortal Kombat 3, which is in the 30th anniversary one, but not the previous couple of releases. It's actually on the Countercade version. So I was actually thinking of getting the Countercade, but then it was like, oh, we're releasing this 30th anniversary edition. arcade 1-up with, Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, regular Mortal Kombat 3, which is what I want. So I'm like, oh, fuck, now I got to get this. So I'm like looking at this site, and it looks legit, but there's two things that really threw me off, that really like showed me like, no, this is bullshit. One was so-and-so just bought Terminator 2 from, somewhere in, Montana. Like, oh, that's weird. I don't usually see that on the Arcade 1-Up site. And then the other thing was that they were purporting to have this 30th anniversary Mortal Kombat arcade machine that I'm waiting for available for $129.99. I'm like, oh, what website am I on? And I looked, and it was arcades1up.com or whatever. And I immediately like comment on my buddy's post, like, dude, this is a fake website. Don't buy anything from here. Then I get the text from him. Oh, I just bought Mortal Kombat or, Street Fighter versus Capcom for, $100. Like, fuck, dude. You need to contact your bank right now, get your money back. Like, you just got scammed. Like, he's like, no, it's probably, and he's like, in denial about it. You know how that goes. So like, no, dude, you absolutely are going to have to contact your bank. Like, send me anything you get from this so I can look into it for you and get you. Because I had gotten scammed on something a couple of months prior, where I was just like, ooh, that's a good price for this, and then bought it before I even like thought about, wait a minute, I've never heard of this website.
So we had about a year ago or so, I bought a 3D printer.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was on a website. There was like a link from Facebook or something, and it was on a website. And I'm like, you know what? This looks sketchy. But then I was like, I'm gonna try it anyway. I knew that it was probably a scam.
Sure.
And like, maybe I shouldn't, say this. But like, I knew that it was probably a scam, but I also knew that if I bought it with my credit card, I'd be protected.
Right.
So I bought it, and then I didn't get anything. And so I was out that money, and it was like, I want to say it was like $150 for what would have been like a $500 3D printer.
Sure.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens. And like, literally never heard from them. I did get my money back from my credit card. So like, I was out the $150 for like, 8 weeks or something like that. But I was like, you know what? Maybe it's legit. Let's try it. So
what I was looking for like a rack case, because we for Living Brain Dead, we just built an in-ear system. So I was looking for a rack case to put it all in. Because I had one, but
I remember you talking about that.
But it wasn't like the proper. It wasn't the proper case, so we wanted to get like the proper case. And I found one like with wheels and everything, just through a Google search, and it took me to this website, and I didn't even think about it. I just clicked buy because it was a really incredible, like too good to be true price, and I bought it, and I didn't get any kind of shipping or any kind of confirmation or anything like that. So I reached out to customer service, and I was like, look, I never got any kind of correspondence from you that I've purchased this. I paid it through PayPal. So I was like, look, if you guys, I'm going to give you guys till like Monday. And if I don't hear from you by Monday, I'm contacting PayPal. And then I didn't hear nothing. So I contact PayPal. And PayPal sent, like a week later, they're like, oh, they just sent us this tracking number. So they sent me this UPS tracking number that was delivered to an address in Buffalo, like the day before or earlier that day or something like that. So I was like, okay, I know how this game works. And I reached out to UPS and I'm like, can you guys do me a favor? You don't have to tell me what address this went to, but can you tell me if it came to my address? And they were like, yeah, sure, send us the tracking number. So send them the tracking number. They said, yeah, this went to somebody named Ashley in Buffalo, and it came from Amazon. Like, yeah, okay, so yeah, absolutely, this was a complete scam. And then I'm looking at this, tracking info they sent me even further, and it's like, the weight was way lower than what I had ordered, so I sent all this information to PayPal, and it still took them like 2 weeks, but I got my money back on it. So, but that, let that be a lesson. Pay attention to where you're buying stuff from, because if you don't, you're going to be dealing with credit card companies or PayPal or whoever you're,
Well, I think a lot of people do exactly what you did. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe what a great deal this is. I better buy it right this very second. And for the most part with, purchases, anything over like $100, like I'll look at it and think about it and then go back to the website the next day and think about it some more. And then like do a Google search and compare it to other things. But like when you get it, when you're looking at a thing and that thing is usually $500 and suddenly you see one for $150, you're like, boom, sold. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh crap. And then you're in a bathtub with ice and your liver's missing.
It was nice knowing you guys. If you don't see me next week, you know what happened. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Where's the show?
The show is at the stadium.
All right.
Allegiant Stadium there, where the Raiders play. So,
very cool.
So yeah, no, it's gonna be a great show. I mean, the 40th anniversary shows were amazing, like to a point where I spent $800 just to go and stay for the second one. But I don't expect them to play like songs from every album this show, but
so obviously you don't have time to do any tourist stuff, right?
Probably not. I mean, we'll have time.
If I recall correctly, you went to San Francisco and went to the Full House.
I did.
And then Bob Saget died like the next day.
Yeah. Are you also going to accuse me, like Jasmine does, of some foul play here?
I might be off by a day or two, but I really do feel like you went to.
I was home for about a month before Bob Saget died, but
you posted the Full House, and then I got a notification in my email that like Bob Saget died.
I was home for like a month before that.
Right. Making sure.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of like any TV shows that took place in Vegas, other than like World Tour of Poker.
I'm sure there's probably plenty of shows like Pawn Stars,
World, right?
Pawn Stars, Pawn Stars.
Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. The dad's kind of old too. Dude, maybe you shouldn't go to Vegas. I did get to do some touristy stuff in San Fran. I went to, I saw the Golden Gate Bridge from like, I didn't think I was going to get to, because it was the day that I saw the Full House, and the bridge was nowhere near anywhere I was. Right.
But I got back to the hotel after I went to the Full House, and I was like, let me, I got this Facebook ad for a Banksy gallery. And I love Banksy, and I know Kirsten's gonna give me shit in the chat about it, but I love Banksy, and I was like, oh man, I gotta go see this Banksy exhibit while I'm in town, and it's in town. And it happened to be like right near the bridge. So I got an Uber over there, and I'm like telling the guy, oh man, when I was in LA, I didn't get to see the Hollywood sign. It was the only thing I wanted to do. I could only see it like off in the distance from the car. And she says she already gave me shit, she'll pass. So the guy's like, well, if you want to see the bridge, it's literally right here. And it was like literally right in front of me. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, there it is. Yeah, perfect. I can see the Golden Gate Bridge before I go and look at all this artwork from Banksy and head back to the hotel room and sleep early. But Laura is correct. It is time for music. Why she's trying to tell you, and I don't know, but so this was
Laura,
just.
We're in different rooms. I don't know if you can tell, but we're not together.
Yeah, this was just sent to me during the course of the show because I had, but I didn't have to change anything on my sheet because it's actually the same song. Just this is done by the full band, and that was just a solo demo, I guess. But this is Quaker Gun Club, and they are performing Friday at Nietzsche's with Real Movement, Makeout Tactics, and Kobo Neats. That's at 9 p.m. $8 and 21 and up, and I do believe you need to be vaccinated to attend shows at Nietzsche's still. This is Quaker Gun Club, and the song's called Soylent Green, easy for me to say, on All WNY, Think So Joe Show.
There's a ghost climbs the stairs.
was Quaker Gun Club, the song called Soylent Green on all WNY Think So Joe show. Again, catch them Friday at Nietzsche's with Real Movement, Makeout Tactics, and Coco Neats. And
so is Quaker Gun Club made of people?
I don't know, but Soylent Green is.
And by the way, I think it's kind of funny that they're playing Nietzsche's because, like, just listening to that song, like, that has a very Nietzsche's vibe to it. And I don't even know how to describe it, but like when I walk into Nietzsche's, that's what I expect to hear. That was a good song, solid.
No, that was good for sure. And a big
I kind of want to hear the demo.
And a big thank you to those guys for sending it over to us when when we only apparently had a previous demo, which is on their Bandcamp.
I'm gonna have to listen to that after their show.
Facebook.com.
This show.
Facebook.com/Quaker Gun Club, and you can get the link to their Bandcamp where they have music that's not their current music. So, which is cool. I appreciate that they reached out and said, "Hey, that's not representative of us now. So here's something new for you." So that's pretty cool. I like when bands do that. So very much appreciated. But yeah, so. Yeah.
I just want to throw out this reminder, just in case there are different people listening this hour. 5 more days for nominations for the All West New York Awards. By the way, Joe, I don't know if I had told you. I think I might have. It is officially you, me, and Bert on the nominating committee.
Yes, sir.
So after the 28th, once all the submissions are in, we'll go through them and whittle them down so that it's a little easier for people to vote on.
I had to turn down a gig that Greg had offered for the Living Brain Dead, and I am still not 100% thrilled about it. But it was like we might be able to do it, but I didn't want to be like might, and then like say yeah book us, and then like 3 days before the show because it was a huge show. I didn't want to be like Greg, we can't play it. I'm sorry.
Well, it's got to be hard for you guys to book shows, period, because you got a bandmate that's going back and forth.
We do. We also have a bandmate that's in 2 bands, and so actually 2 bandmates that are in 2 bands now. So I
think that's pretty much true for every band in Buffalo. Like every musician in Buffalo is playing in at least a couple different bands. I was talking to a guy a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Man, you look really familiar," and he's like, "Oh, I'm in this and this and this and this," and he was in one of Greg Burt's 10 bands, and I don't remember which one it was. But you know that Greg is in like 7 or 8 different bands, and he was in one of those bands. I'm like, "Oh, that's where I know you from." But like I run into musicians all the time, and I'm like, "I know you," and they're like, "Oh, well, I'm in this band," and I'm like, "Nope, never seen that one." And then they'll name 3 other bands. I'm like, "That's the one."
Right.
It's like, you can't make money in one band, so you'll not make money in 4 bands either.
Right. Exactly. So Laura asks, Scott, have you thought about canceling the Think So Joe show?
Oh, every day. At least once a day. So what happens, Laura, is I wake up like in a panic, covered in sweat. And I'm like, oh my God, Joe is going to be in charge of All Western New York Radio for like 2 hours this Wednesday. And I'm like, I'm really scared that he's going to say or do something really stupid. But then, then I just have a couple glasses of vodka, and by noon I'm feeling better. And then, later in the day, like Joe will send me a message, and it'll be funny or something. I'll be like, oh, maybe it's okay. And then we repeat that literally every day. And the panic is the worst on Wednesdays, which is why I'm drinking my coffee. Because I have 2
coffee.
Regrets. I have 2 regrets. One is that Corey Comments On is no longer a show. And 2 is that Think So Joe is a show. And really, those are the only 2 regrets that I have in life. Which is really amazing when you consider some of the things that I've done.
You know what's funny is some weeks I forget to hit the button and I'm not in charge of all WNY because it's airing this week. I did it this week. I remembered.
Good.
Some weeks I'll open the program and I'll set it off to the side. I'll set it right next to the chat replay thing that I click on to get these things up on the screen here, and I will completely forget to hit the button when the timer goes off after the. So, I try my best to remember, and then some weeks I'll go to do it and it'll be like timed out, can't connect.
Yeah, and then it's funny because whenever that happens, and that happens every few months maybe, like, and every time it does, you'll text me and I will, like, I practically live in my office. Like, I only leave this office on very rare occasions, and usually it's to microwave my coffee or go to the bathroom. But it seems like every time the site or the stream is down, I'm somewhere else. And fortunately, so it happened like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And so I actually logged into my computer via Google, like, remote access or whatever. And by the time I had logged in, like, it must have reset itself because I heard you.
I think we were having technical issues on my end, because that was also the week we were having trouble getting Kevin on the show, and
Gotcha.
we finally but by the time you messaged me, hey, I hear you, like everything seemed to be working here, and I think I'm pretty sure we lost a little bit out of the like final recorded video too, so I don't know what was going on. Maybe I had some kind of glitch with my internet connection or whatever, but let's see, where were we here in the chat? Kirsten says polybandmery instead of polyamory.
Oh, yes.
Laura says Corey comments is still a show, best show ever. Corey is all WNY.
Yeah, so Corey comments on is still technically a show. He's just been on vacation for about 2.5 years. And but he's, we expect him back anytime. I did actually talk to him a few months ago just because I hadn't heard from him in a while. So I messaged him, I'm like, hey bro, how you doing? And we talked for a little bit, and he's doing good. American dream, making all the money. But he's been too busy to do his show, which is a shame because it was a fun little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I have been too busy to do my show, which I haven't done in like 2 years. But every once in a while I'm like, man, like I wish that I had an avenue to express myself in some way or another. And then I'm like, oh, I do. but then I'm like, nah, that's too much work. So I'll send out a tweet instead.
I don't know, Wednesdays are my excuse to like clean the studio and like actually shower and shave and get dressed, and
it's always good to have an excuse for that.
Yeah. That reminds me, I gotta send some ideas to my script writer for this week so I can actually have a script and do my YouTube video this week. And do one last week.
This past week?
I was so busy with work, and I was like, all right, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna write a script, and then I'm gonna do I'm gonna shoot the video, and then I'll take a nap, and I'll get up at 10, and I'll do the editing, and I'll upload it, and it'll be good to go for 2 o'clock. And then I just couldn't come up with anything. Like, I looked up, I did a search for random music trivia, right? And it brings me to Sporkle, which, if you're not familiar with Sporkle is a trivia website. You go on and you actually play trivia games, so I got caught up in doing that. And the next thing I know, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I hear the garbage trucks outside. I'm like, fuck, I forgot to take garbage out again. And then I'm like, and I didn't write a script, and I should probably go to bed. So I was like, still like, no, I need to do this, because I took a week off a couple of weeks ago because my writer fucking ghosted me until after the fact, when he told me, oh, dude, I got finals this week, so I can have it to you for like Wednesday. And I'm like, no, dude, I needed it last night. What the fuck? So I reached out to him before the show today. I'm like, hey, if I send you, an idea or two, can you write me a script or two before Sunday? Like, I just want to make sure you're available this time before I place the order and then don't get it on time. He says, yeah, I'm available. Like, all right, cool. I'll come up with something. I'll get back to you. So still got to do that. I got to come up with the idea but I have a whole list, and I was going to just do like, here's 10 things out of this list that I couldn't pad out to 600 words or whatever. Right. But I just didn't feel like doing that. So, So I skipped another week, and I'm gonna come back this week. It's a much easier setup now than it had been previously, since I'm not using the
green screen.
Yeah, I'm not using the green screen anymore.
Right.
So it's just a matter of I grab the the tripod with the teleprompter on it. I stick my phone in there, and I program everything into my other phone, and onto the teleprompter, and just go from there. And I try to shoot everything in one take if I can, so I'm not like having to sit there and edit everything. But I'm also back in Premiere. I was using a different program for a while, so back in Premiere, so I can actually see where there's edits to be made on the audio timeline.
Right.
So
So you're paying for Premiere, or are you paying for the whole package?
I'm paying. I got a good deal on the whole package. So I was like,
Did you?
yeah, I'm like, you know what? I do all this shit that this package does, and I'm doing it on open source software, but I feel like Premiere would be better than Hit Film Express, and it is to a point. There's things I like about, some of the, for the merch that I've been doing, I've still been using Inkscape instead of Illustrator, because I'm just like so used to the Illustrator interface at this point that
Right.
or the Inkscape
I know what you meant.
interface. And Illustrator is kind of, it's changed a lot since the last time I had the Adobe package. So it's like, man, it's so much easier for me to just use this open source software instead of what I'm paying for to do a lot of this stuff, especially because a lot of these designs for both the Living Brain Dead store and the ThinkSoJoE store have been things that I had previously designed in Inkscape. So it's just easier to do it that way.
I used to have the whole Adobe package, and I use Adobe Audition to record. And that was really the only thing that I used regularly. So I just ended up just getting Adobe Audition, which I pay like $22 a month for, or something like that. But like one of the main reasons that I didn't like the other Adobe programs is I just felt they were all so bloated. Like I feel
Sure.
like everything Adobe touches is just it slows your machine down like crazy. Like I've got a really good computer with great specs, but like attempting to open some Adobe software, and it's like everything just grinds to a halt, and I'm like, why am I dealing with this? Especially when there are other programs that do basically the same thing. For graphics, for example, I've been using an open source program called paint.net
Okay.
for like a decade. And
Yeah.
and it's funny because like people will see it and they're like, oh my God, like you're drawing in paint. And I'm like, no, it's not paint, it's paint.net. But like all the graphics that I make, that's what I do them in. Because like trying to do things in Photoshop, like I feel like a lot of things are more complicated, and then like I said, it slows everything down. I end up having to like restart the computer just because Adobe like sucks up all the resources.
That doesn't happen on my computer. Like I had a ton of Photoshop windows open, a ton of Illustrator windows open, plus all my open source art programs, and had no slowdown whatsoever. My laptop runs Premiere like a champ in 4K.
Really?
In 4K, like a champ. It's got
Yeah,
basically.
I've never tried using Premiere.
Yeah. Premiere, I've always had problems with like video software. So like when I built the computer that's running the show, I literally did it with to like gaming specs, because it was like, if I do it to gaming specs, video software should run fine. So I did it with that, and also streaming for the podcast in mind.
Right. And plus that way you can deal with your Fortnite addiction.
Yeah, right. I've never played Fortnite. I've played Minecraft, and I was bored out of my skull. My kid loves that, but but I got a laptop with basically the same specs as my desktop, and that's what I've been running Premiere off of. And I could run it off of my desktop, I'm sure, but I'm like, you know what? My laptop's running it fine. I'm just gonna run it off the laptop. And I started doing that because I have originally had just a single 4K screen in here, and that was the one up there that's hooked up to the laptop. And now I've got the one over here that's connected to the desktop. But I just was like, you know what? I've got this workflow going with my laptop. Why why change if it's working fine? But I don't really experience that slowdown. I know Kirsten is in the chat saying that she, you know, when you have more than one up at a time, ouch. But yeah, I haven't had any real troubles.
So you mentioned screens, and I know you've got like a bunch of screens in that room, and it's funny because I am surrounded by screens right now. So the camera I'm looking into is on top of it's actually a television that I use as a monitor. And then to my left is an actual monitor, and I just have an HDMI cable that goes from that to the television, and it duplicates it. And in addition to that, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other screens, 7, 8 more. So there's like 10 screens in this room, which is bigger than your room, but not by a lot.
You've about doubled me because I've got the 2 4K monitors. I've got the 24-inch 1080 that my camera is right above. I've got the 15-inch laptop screen, and I've got my Kindle Fire over here that I'm using in show mode. And I guess if you want to be technical, there's a screen on my Rodecaster. My phones have screens. My iPads have screens. But like screens that I'm actually like using regularly, I have like 5. And the 4K up here I use mostly as a TV. That's where I play video games and watch TV for the most part. I have a nice 50.
Did you got another toy recently from Rode?
What? I got the microphones here.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a bunch. I have so many Rode products. No, we just so like. I've had these cheap, like $50 Nady condenser mics just attached to my desk for as long as I can remember, like since I've been doing voiceover, basically. And like I've replaced them with different mics over the years and still come back to them because like I like condenser mics more than I like dynamic mics, I guess. And
right.
Especially like this, the Rodecaster doesn't really, even though those mics are designed to work with it, it doesn't really push out the power needed to handle some of the dynamic mics. So I have a Shure SM7B up on the shelf back here that was in my booth and connected with a cloud lifter, but I was picking up interference from my neighbor's radio station through the cloud lifter. So I was like, I just can't use that.
Right.
So I'm like, so I guess I have a $400 paperweight back here, or it's a decoration now. You can see it in the Things You Might Not Know videos. I eventually intend to get just like a FET head or like a single cloud lifter because I had the rack mount one.
Right.
Just to try that. I actually just sold the rack mount one, and that's what I used to buy my new guitar here. But so I had the Rode Pod mics. I've got the Rode NT1A in the booth. Everything's run through the Rodecaster Pro, and we just got these Rode Wireless Go mics specifically for the podcast. Also, I have a Rode video mic NTG up top here for the boom that I use for Things You Might Not Know. So
nice. Tons
of Rode products. I even there's a Rode keychain on my keys. Karina got me last year like a $25 Rode store gift card for like their merch. And I never ended up using it because every time I would go there, like anything I would buy was out of stock. And I don't know if I still have to have that physical
card. They were having serious supply issues last year.
Yeah.
I bought a new NT1A and something else, and I had to wait forever for it. So I mean the supply chain problems that people talk about, depending upon what you need, are legit.
Oh yeah.
So
the thought had run through my mind of like, I have some spare parts from like upgrading parts in this computer. So the thought had crossed my mind of I should just build a second computer. But I would want to get a graphics card, and you just can't get them right now because of supply chain. Like they're starting to come down in price. Because like, you know, if they're, you know, when they come out, people are buying them up and selling them for, you know, double, triple, quadruple the price. They're starting to come down in price now, but it's like, this is not the time to build a computer. Like, I don't need one. Like, this one's going to last me for a while. And, you know, I've got this laptop that's basically the same specs as this. It's going to hopefully last me a while because I just got it last year. So like I don't need to do all that, but like I know the supply chain issues would stop that. But yeah, it's just you know, I've you know, we got these wireless Go mics, and I wasn't sure about them when we got them, because it was like I put it on and I can hear like an echo in my headphones, but I know it doesn't come through
Right.
to like to the broadcast or to like anybody that I'm talking to through these. But I hear it. It's very subtle. There's a little reverb to it, but I don't
Right.
hear it on the recordings, and that's fine. And then I had to get like a splitter cable to connect these to a couple of the like XLR adapters for them, so that I can go into channel 1 and 2 with them and control them individually through the Rodecaster. So, you know.
I'm just thinking, and I'm sure that like every musician that's listening now has this as well, and I guarantee you do, and I know I do. A box with just like connectors and cables,
Yep.
like so that you can go from like anything to anything. And I just think of all these scenarios where I'm like, all right, so I got to go from this to this, and then you get like this different things of connectors like this long, you know, one stacked on top of another just to get to where you need to go, and you're like, well, that'll work for today, but I need a better long-term solution.
What,
And
so
then you're like, where's that crackle coming from? What's that all about?
so I had studio monitors in here that I got from Brian, and one eventually failed on me, and I got basically, you know, very similar studio monitors, so I could still use the same cords to hook them up. But I had to get longer ones because now I got them further apart. They're on stands. They're like I'm reaching out to them. I cannot touch them right now. But which I actually later upgraded those, so I had to get another new cable, and then I had to get the cable to connect the Echo in my bathroom to them when I moved them into the bathroom. So yeah, I have the box full of cables, but I never have the cables I need. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No,
So
I hear you.
yeah, I ended up these ones connected with like just guitar cables. Which
So
is
it's
great
funny,
because I had
I actually
extras.
I have a pair of monitors on either side of my monitor.
Yeah, that gets confusing. I understand.
Sorry, that confused me for a second. But at some point last year, like one of them started making a buzz, and so I've just turned them off, and they've just been turned off ever since. So like I have these monitors that I don't use. I actually use like I listen to things like through the speaker in my TV slash monitor. And like obviously the audio quality is not great, but like it works. I should probably replace those monitors someday, but like it's been very low on my list of things to do because like I found a solution right away. I'm like, oh, I'll just do it this way. And then it stopped being a thing that I cared about.
Well, it's funny, and then we gotta get out of here because we should have started playing the last song by now. But is I have this computer monitor that I use as a TV, and it's got speakers, but the speakers suck. So the thing is, actually, it's plugged into my board. It runs through my mixer, and like, so the sound comes out of my studio monitors here, or the headphones if I have them on.
Well, it used to be that every piece of audio that I had in this room went through my board, and then I listened to on those monitors. But then the one monitor got staticky, and so now I listen to everything on this cheap ass TV.
I paid like $150 for some 5-inch monitors. I think I got them it was a musician's friend's stupid deal of the day. They're regular like 150 each, and I paid like 150 for the pair. So, but
hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you.
Thank you for being on. I appreciate you jumping on and helping me out here. I think you like this last band. I was listening to them earlier, just kind of put them on and programmed the one song and just kept listening to them because I like the song. This is the Burkharts. They're performing Friday at Mohawk Place with the duo Tuesday Night. Brian Williams and Zach Ward. That's, again, Friday night at Mohawk. 7 p.m., $10, 18 plus. And according to the event page, they are no longer requiring you to have your vaccination card for Mohawk Place. So there's something for you. And this
Zach Ward giving you kickbacks or what? That's like the third or fourth time you mentioned his name.
Is Zach Ward what?
Giving you kickbacks or something?
No, I've known Zach since high school. You know, we're not like, you know, we don't hang out. We're not buddy or nothing, but like I've gone to see him previously and he's playing this show. But if he was giving me kickbacks, I'd probably be playing his song instead of, you know, the people on the show with him. So this is the Burkharts. This song is called To Be Your Lover on Old WNY Think So Joe Show. And I'll see you next week.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.